Hi everyone, my name is Shauna in case you don't know, and welcome back to another video. I'm going to be filming some cosplay stuff right after this, and so I already put my hair in the wig cap and I thought like, oh, I just threw a hat on to hide the wig cap, but I look so strange. I look like a hairless cat. Anyways, in today's video I'm going to be giving you all book recommendations based off of different songs from Broadway musicals. This technically falls along the lines of the playlist book take, except I really do not want to do that like dancing thing with the books. So I'm just gonna do this more like a chill, just more book recommendations as opposed to the proper book tag for this. So I have Pandora open right here. I'm just gonna keep hitting forward until I get like 5 or 10 different songs and give you recommendations for all the songs. So without further ado, let's see what the first one is. Okay, the first one is Hadestown. Specifically, the song is When the Chips Are Down. And I'll like link all of these songs down in the description in case you want to hear more about them. So Hadestown is the musical of the Greek myth Orpheus and Eurydice. And so right off the bat, I'm thinking Greek mythology. Specifically with When the Chips Are Down, one that is coming to mind right off the bat is Lore by Alexandra Bracken. So the first 3 lines of the song, because I'm looking at the lyrics right now, are what are making me choose Lore for this. Life ain't easy, life ain't fair, a girl's gotta fight for a rightful share, what she gonna do when the chips are down? This is very much giving me Lore vibes. Lore is about this girl named Lore, and she's involved with this tournament that happens. And in this tournament, if you kill a Greek god, then you get their powers. And the people who are competing are with these lines stemming down from popular Greek heroes. So for example, like Achilles has a line, and Achilles' line are fighting to try and get the power of the gods. It's a really interesting story, but it's really dark, and the main character Lore really has to fight for herself. She's all on her own for the first part of the book. She really did not have good luck in life when it comes to everything that went on in her life. So like her life literally sucks. She's in this tournament, she has to fight. It just gave me the vibes of this song. This next song that I got on Pandora is For Good from Wicked. Wicked is obviously the backstory for the Wicked Witch of the West. This song is a farewell between Elphaba and Glinda. It really is deeply about friendship, and it's a very beautiful song. So I'm thinking of friendship, and I'm trying to think of a book that has strong friendship vibes. Maybe with a little bit of fantasy, but it's okay if not. Okay, I'm just gonna go with Harry Potter for this because I can't really think of any other ones. Specifically, Harry, Ron, and Hermione's friendship. I'm currently rereading the series again. I'm trying to reread the series every single year now. Harry, Ron, and Hermione just have such a deep friendship and appreciation for each other, and it definitely has its ups and downs, but I really admired their friendship. Also, an underrated friendship in that series, I really like the Weasley twins' friendship with Lee Jordan. I just love Lee Jordan, and I think their dynamics are super fun. Like, if I were to join a trio and become like a squad, wait, what's a trio? A quad? Squad? I don't know. If I were to join like a group friendship in Harry Potter, I would want to join the Weasley twins and Lee Jordan. I mean, like, yeah, I'd be the only one who wouldn't want to be getting in trouble nonstop, but it would be so much fun, you know? So number 3 that I got from Pandora is Think of Me from Phantom of the Opera. So Think of Me is sung by Christine in the Phantom of the Opera, and it's sort of her singing about wanting someone to think of her even when that person is far away. So I'm getting like nostalgia, like attachment vibes is what's coming to mind here. I'm not super familiar with the plot of the Phantom of the Opera. Like, I like the songs, but I'm not super familiar with the plot. So like, I'm sorry if I'm getting Think of Me completely wrong, but the book that I'm gonna do based off of the vibes of this song, you know what, that's what I'll do. I'll just do the vibes of all of these songs. But the book that I'd recommend sort of based off of the vibes of this book is a book called Me, Moth. This is by Amber McBride. It's sometimes shortened down to just Me. Me, Moth is a story of grief. It's about this girl and all of her family is dead, and she strikes up this connection with this young boy. It is a beautiful story. There's a lot of like ancestry beautifully woven into the story and a lot of different cultures woven in. I think it's a very beautiful story. They just share such a deep connection. And the thing that I loved most about this book is the plot twist at the end, because it's something that you like really can't see coming. You know, it's a book about grief, but like it takes an unexpected direction later in the book, and it is such a phenomenal book. If you like the song Think of Me, you should definitely read Me, Moth. And even if you don't like the song Think of Me and you don't like Phantom of the Opera, I still think you should read Me, Moth, because it is one of the best stories that I've ever read, and I honestly think it should be a must read. It is written in verse, and it's really understandable, which is something that I'm always looking for when I'm reading different poetry collections or books written in verse, because sometimes poetry can get very confusing, but I find that verse, specifically the verse used in Moth, is really easy to understand and comprehend. I'm gonna do 2 more. There's just so many ads and I'm getting really frustrated, and I really want to get some cosplay stuff filmed before I run out of daylight. So the next one that came up on my Pandora radio is Crossing a Bridge from the Anastasia Broadway musical, not the Anastasia movie. So Crossing a Bridge is a song that is very beautiful and lyrical and has a lot of imagery to it, so I'm trying to think of a book that has very beautiful writing, and the one that's coming to mind right off the bat is We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. We Hunt the Flame, to me personally, its biggest strength was its lyrical writing and its imagery that it uses. It definitely is a little heavy on it sometimes, so if you are looking for more super fast-paced action books, then definitely We Hunt the Flame is not going to be the book for you, but the writing and the way that it's written definitely gives me vibes of how Crossing a Bridge was written, because it is so lyrical and beautiful. And We Hunt the Flame is a fantasy story. It's the first book in a duology. It is really enjoyable. I'm really attached to the characters. I wasn't a huge fan of the second book, but the first book is phenomenal. And the final song that popped up that I'm going to give a recommendation for is the song Carrying the Banner from Newsies. If you take this literally, then the banner is like a headline, so Carrying the Banner, they're like shouting out the names of the different news articles to try and like attract attention and get more customers. But also Carrying the Banner could essentially mean representing yourselves with pride. Newsies has somewhat of a political message or important message attached with it also about going on strike, and that's a really important thing. So for this, I'm gonna find a book that has a really important theme, potentially an important political theme. And for this, I'm going with Dear Martin by Nick Stone. This book has an important message. It deals a lot with racism, very much a different topic than Newsies, but still a very important topic to discuss. It's about this kid who's imagining that he's writing letters to Martin Luther King Jr., and in the midst of this story of him dealing with just racism in general and dealing with his identity as a black boy, he has to deal with his friend being shot and killed by a police officer. It's a very intense story. It's not for everyone, but it has an important message, and I think that fans of Newsies, if they like the message of Newsies and they like the important themes in Newsies, may potentially like Dear Martin by Nick Stone. So those were all my recommendations based off of different Broadway musicals. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me if you haven't already. I upload videos twice a week, or at least I try to upload 2 videos a week on Tuesdays and Fridays. I've been noticing recently that for some reason my YouTube is saying that videos aren't being released when I'm telling them to release. So like there's been days where 2 videos release at once when I don't want them to. So, you know, I'm still aiming to get 2 videos out a week. I'm aiming for Tuesday and Friday, but YouTube sometimes glitches, so I can't fix that glitch. But yeah, there will be 2 videos a week, preferably on Tuesdays and Fridays, but potentially it could be whenever YouTube decides to release them to the public. I talk about books on my YouTube channel at least once a week, so if you want more book-related videos, feel free to stick around, and I hope that I'll see all of you in my next video. Until next time, goodbye!